Hi guys, today I will go into the topic of mindset for Ekko. This will be the first chapter of my Ultimate Ekko Jungle Guide series, and the reason I chose to talk about mindset first is because I believe it is a huge part of your success and is often overlooked. Also, if you're completely new to Ekko, this is gonna help you understand what it takes to be good at Ekko and aid you in deciding if he's the right champ for you. The first time I was able to climb to Master Elo was when I stopped playing the game to win and started playing the game to carry. So let's get into it. I will split this topic into different categories. The first one is gonna be about the generally healthy mindset outside of Ekko you should have when gaming, and the others will be about the mindsets you should have with Ekko specifically. One simple trick that will automatically boost your win rate is to actually enjoy playing League. If you're just playing League because you're bored, chances are that you're not really enjoying it. I know this might sound difficult for some of you because the only reason you're playing League day in and day out is your addiction to it. Letting go of that addiction is not easy, but as soon as you realize you can do other things in your life than playing League, you might even remember the reasons why you liked the game in the first place and actually start enjoying it again. For me personally, every time I tried to really grind for many games a day, it was usually the time I least enjoyed the game and overall started playing worse and worse and even had insane outbursts of anger. This irregularly affected my mood outside of the game as well, and on days where I lost most of my games I would just be pissed off and my day was ruined. If you can relate to any of this, my biggest advice is to emotionally detach yourself from League by finding something else to do in your life. When you only play League when you actually feel like it, you will notice that you're having a lot more fun and you will consequently play better without even trying to. This advice goes beyond League, and you can and should apply this mindset to any game or even activity that you participate in. If you already have this mindset when playing League, then that is one less thing that is holding you back, and you might just need to understand the kind of specific mindsets you should have when playing Ekko, so let's get into that. First off, you need to understand the role you choose when you pick Ekko. You are a carry. It is your responsibility to have a game-winning impact. You can't sit back and rely on your teammates to do it for you if you want to improve and climb consistently. Personally, I'm a bit of a show-off, so I even get way more joy out of carrying a game than simply winning it. I'm not saying you need to be like that to have success, but it definitely doesn't hurt when you choose to play a champ like Ekko. If you feel like it is too much pressure for you to constantly look for proactive plays, and you would rather just sit back and clear waves with your feathers, then maybe Ekko is not the best fit for you. Just to be clear here, however, I'm not telling anyone that they shouldn't play Ekko, I'm just saying that certain characteristics can definitely give you an advantage. But as with everything, you can of course learn to be a carry if you're committed to it. But what does it mean to be a carry, and what kind of mindsets will help you be a good carry? A mindset that has improved me drastically that I adopted this season is the 100% responsibility mindset. If you play with this mindset, it will help you immensely and improve you as a player in general. I used to be a guy that loved blaming things on my teammates. It would feel good in the moment, and oftentimes I might even be right in pointing out my teammates' mistakes. But did it help me? Hell no. Blaming your teammates is a coping mechanism and nothing else. Taking 100% responsibility means you only focus on yourself and the things in your control, and never blame anything on your teammates. Your team will make mistakes that are not your fault, but you should see it as your responsibility to overcome these mistakes with your actions. What is the point of blaming your team? It might make you feel better for a couple of seconds, but after that you will still lose the game. You will fail many times while trying to equalize your teammates' mistakes, but simply trying is what will improve your skills and grow a strong mindset. This is what it means to be a true carry. The most satisfying wins are the ones where you know that you're the main reason it happened. A mistake a lot of low elo players make is sitting back and watching the game unfold without trying to actively influence the outcome themselves. With Ekko, you need to plan strategically and constantly look for ways to have a game-winning impact. The most common ways to accomplish that is by creating numbers advantages with picks or making a comeback by collecting shutdowns. If you're not able to accept this as your task, then you will have a hard time finding consistent success with Ekko. I personally find games where I really need to carry and make as little mistakes as possible the most fun. It didn't always used to be like this, but after I started finding enjoyment in being the main reason my team won, instead of being carried, I started improving at a much faster rate. The biggest weakness I see in a lot of players I've coached is their lack of patience. You might have heard the saying trust the process, and I think Ekko is a champ that this saying really applies to. Oftentimes all you need to do as Ekko is scale up and not get baited into forcing, and you will come out victorious. He spikes incredibly hard with items and is one of the best scaling champs in the game. Because of that, your mindset should also be to never surrender, since all it often takes is a few kills or a shutdown and the game is winnable. The lower the elo, the more true this is. If you're mechanically good enough, you can literally win the game on your own, so truly internalize this belief. Another part of Patient that also ties into the mindfulness is the usage of your long cooldown abilities, namely Flash and Rocket Belt. One thing I constantly see when coaching low elo players is that they don't value these two spells as much as they should. Often they will flash for kills they would have gotten anyways because they're impatient, or use the Rocket Belt for nothing but damage without even thinking about the value it could provide. Ekko is a champ that requires a lot of active thoughts to be played at a high level, and to be good at Ekko means to use his abilities in the most efficient ways possible. The mistakes a lot of low elo players make is to either not use his abilities at all, mainly the W, or throw them out on cooldown without trying to maximize their value. If you step back and actively think about the ways in which you can get the best value out of your abilities instead of just using them, I can guarantee you that you're gonna improve a lot. I will dive deep into this topic in the next chapter of the Ultimate Ekko Jungle Guide that is gonna focus on mechanics and how to improve them. The late game is where patience with Ekko is usually most needed, since a single death often decides the game. Think of yourself like a lion that hasn't eaten for 5 days in the savannah. You might see a herd of buffaloes that all look extremely juicy, but if you want to eat them, then you will still have to wait for the right moment to pounce and not run at them as soon as you get sight of them. What I'm trying to say with this metaphor is that in the late game you need to constantly be on the lookout for mistakes, but only get active when there are actual mistakes happening. Don't force plays that are either a coin flip or straight up bad. The mistakes will happen, you just need to be ready to punish them. Flexibility is of course a good trait to have in general, but what I'm mostly referring to here is being flexible with your item building. A lot of low elo players, aka Reddit users, need to realize that items do not matter nearly as much as they think, and there are a lot of different options. When I asked the best Ekko in the world, Zhao Lao Ban, why he went for Doran's Ring over Corrupting Potion in the Z matchup, his answer was, "It does not matter, just buy what makes you feel comfortable." This is the case for all the item choices like Lichbane and Nashor's. A lot of low elo players hold the opinion that Nashor's is always better, without even thinking about why you would want to build either of them. If you want more information on this topic, be sure to check out my Season 13 itemization guide. The reason I added this topic of flexibility is honestly spite. I posted a recent highlight of mine where I built Rapid Fire Cannon as my last item on Reddit, with the title "RFC is a very viable last item," and the first comment I received was from someone simply saying no. The reason this infuriated me was that it actually got upvotes, so people seem to agree with it. I understand that it is difficult to be open to unconventional item builds when you have an extra chromosome, but I need these idiots to really get in their head that the last item slot for Ekko is very flexible. It does not have to be damage. You are basically full build after Rabadons, and last season I frequently saw a challenger Ekko mid build Anathema's Chains as his last item to be able to win against any champ on the side lane. Being flexible with your item building is a skill that is definitely more important in high elo than in low elo, but nonetheless it is something I wanted to include here. Having the ability to be open to new ideas is a life skill that I think everyone should possess, and is something that will help you improve on Ekko as well. When you choose to play Ekko, you should play in a way that is independent from your team and calculated. Winning with Ekko is about finding balance between being proactive and patient. If you found this video helpful, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more educational content. As I said, the next chapter of the Ultimate Ekko Jungle Guide series will be about mechanics. If you want to see me play live, you can follow me at twitch.tv/Ekkoliner, and if you're interested in getting coached by me, you can find the link to my Discord in the description below. And with that, have a great day my fellow Ekko enjoyers.